Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
Doing
Oh,
great,
good.
thanks.
So you guys put this story together, which looks great. In terms of you guys collaborated with Disney, so now the world gets to see what this work entails. What went into obviously making sure this is the right story to tell this time? Ziki?
Yeah. So first, I think what will help is if I give some background in terms of how this collaboration came about. So around 2019, a certain someone calls out Disney, and then they reach out to us, and following months of dialogue, it becomes clear that there's a lot of creative synergy between our company Kugali and Disney. And so they invite us to pitch several ideas. And it was only after pitching the ideas that we had cooked up that we narrowed down, or we circled in on Iwaju, because Disney Plus was relatively new at the time, and the goal was to create a series specifically for Disney Plus. And of all the ideas that we pitched and the format that we wanted for Disney Plus, Iwaju just made the most sense. And I think it worked out for the best, because Iwaju is effectively a love letter to Lagos. I'm from Lagos, Tolu's from Lagos. We had a lot of artists on the team also from Lagos as well. So I think that was a great opportunity for us to showcase a story that represents our home.
And then when you're working with Disney, obviously Disney has a certain brand. And so you said you pitched several ideas. Was this the one that worked within the Disney brand that sells, being it's kid oriented, you have a female in the lead and so forth?
I would say all the stories would have worked within the Disney brand, but Iwaju was selected because it was the one that you could fit into the shortest format, because this was meant to be a series. The other stories, we could have kind of tried to squeeze them into a series, but maybe they would have worked better as feature films.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously, when you talk about the cultural relevance, so that when people watch it, they get an idea and they get a sense of like, okay, this is not something that it's put together by somebody else. You guys are from there, so you guys can bring a little authenticity to the stories, to the background, to the colors, everything that's played within. If you had to make it a live feature, they would get it. Am I correct?
Yeah. It was just the opportunity to create something. Hamid usually says most of the stories told about Africa on a global scale, the most popular stories are typically told by non-Africans. So yes, Africans tell a lot of stories, but maybe it doesn't hit that same global scale. But this is the first opportunity that we're getting to tell a story by Africans of a place in Africa, and it will hit a global scale, because we've even seen the trailers in different languages. We've seen the posters. It's going to be released in, Korea, India, so many other places that don't speak English. And this story is going to go very far. And the story was written by a Nigerian. The location is in Nigeria. Hamid is Ugandan, and a lot of the artists that worked on the show are from other places in Africa. But the point is, this story is coming from the inside out and not from the outside in, like a documentary.
Mm-hmm. And then when you think about what you want to bring to the table, Hamid, that works with everybody else, I mean, even though the three of you guys get together, a team, but everybody has different ideas, So, Hamid, what do you bring to the table that everybody meshed with it?
I think I just realized I'm about to claim myself Nigerian right now. I am not gonna say the word audacity. I am very ambitious with what I go with, and I have a lot of, in terms of visual entertainment, I have very unique experience just as a person, and also for how young I am. So I went to uni for animation, so that's fast. And then I worked in visual effects, and I worked in 5 films. So I worked in Lion King, Predator, Darkest Mind, Dumbo, and I think, what's the other one? I'm missing one. I'm forgetting the one I'm missing, right? So I worked on a few films from there. Then I quit that. So I have that experience of the university experience. I have the experience of the industry experience from the factory line, is what I call it. I have it in the advertising, worked in advertising for a few months. Then I made a company that tells visual stories. So I have experience on how to make stories from all those perspectives. if you add all those together and you put it into one play, it creates a very unique set of experiences that most people in the world cannot, you cannot teach in terms of how to tell stories and the different nuances of different places telling stories in different ways, like the different tricks from all those different levels. And now you add on top of it, I've worked in leadership in the biggest media company in the world to create a very unique story. Like that level of experience is very hard to get anywhere, let alone somebody who is young and has very fresh ideas and has the passion to try and fight for those ideas to come to life.
Mm-hmm. For you, Ziki, and then I always like, this is great. Why is it so short? Was it challenging trying to create this and, keep going, but you have to end at, was it 17 minutes, 21 minutes? Why not keep going?
That's a great question. Thank you. I think it's both and what I mean by this is that there's always a temptation to add more because there are so many great ideas that we had for this story. So it was very tempting to just, throw it all in there. But I actually found the editing process a lot of fun because more often than not, I tend to feel that less is more. And as we started to take things out of the series and cut it, in fact, sometimes the editor would sneakily cut things I wouldn't notice. I'd be like, "Whoa, this episode is looking so much better. I wonder what it is." And then I would find out that she had cut like some scenes or some frames or some dialogue, and I'm like, "Oh wow, it seems like we didn't really need that." And I think that for most creatives, that economy is I think what makes the difference between something that is good or kind of okay and something that's kind of great. So whilst I do agree with you that sometimes I do wish that, yes, we could have done a little bit more, I am really happy with how concise everything is. And I think that at the end of the day, the best parts of the ideas we had made their way into the story.
Congratulations on this series. We get a lot of animated series coming out. It's a question of whether or not you hear about it, whether or not it's marketed well enough. I think, the team is doing a good job in letting people know that this is coming out, soon, and that hopefully we'll get more. And there's a season 2 behind this, that there's more story to tell because we need more of this. So once again, congrats to the 3 of you guys. Let's keep it going. We're here to support. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.